CSH6. This is 207.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to 207. I'm Rob Caldwell.
And I'm Kathleen Shannon. Criminal defense lawyer F. Lee Bailey is renowned for defending people like Sam Shepard, better known as the Fugitive, Patty Hearst, and, of course, O.J. Simpson. He's in Maine now working with those already incarcerated. We'll bring you our lively interview a little later.
We're also going to talk with a bank analyst about whether we are moving toward nationalization of our banking system.
But first tonight, more than 50 years ago, a meat cutter in Portland started his own business using just one employee.
Now, anyone who starts a business hopes it will be successful. This one was. In fact, it's still around, which is in itself an impressive accomplishment, but that doesn't begin to tell the whole story. They come rolling down the conveyor belts, one after another, seemingly without end. They're chicken parts, found in one form or another in every product made by Barber Foods. This is the business Gus Barber started in 1955 with one employee. It's now one of the biggest companies in Maine, with about 750 employees, making about 240 different products of prepared chicken. The business really took off in the mid-1960s when Gus Barber may have been the guy who invented the chicken nugget.
One can make that argument. I mean, he was never able to patent it, and we were never able to verify that he was actually the first guy, but certainly in Maine, first guy.
A few years later, the folks at Barber say Gus definitely created the frozen stuffed chicken breast.
He was on a trip to Texas and noticed a stuffed potato in the freezer case of one of the stores in Texas. Said, that looks interesting. I bet you I can do that with chicken. And he created the stuffed chicken breast with my mother.
What rolls off the production line has been sampled and tweaked and experimented with countless times, all here in the tasting room. All right, where do we begin?
Well, this is the most important part.
Is there an order that we should go in? Now, you might be wondering how much research goes into frozen chicken dishes. A lot. Consider this. Add up the various sizes and flavors, and Barber makes chicken cordon bleu alone more than 25 different ways. What is it you're looking for when you bite into one of your products?
Keep in mind, I've eaten these for 30 years. I know what the texture should feel like. I know how the flavors should mix and match. I know how everything should look.
Barber Foods is interesting as a business story, but it's even more compelling as a people story. This company has the most diverse workforce in Maine. For about 30 years now, it has provided jobs to immigrants from all over the world. Peter Awuga came to Maine from Ghana.
Whenever I meet people outside of work and they ask me why I'm working, I say Barber Foods. Oh, this is the company that employs a lot of immigrants. And to me, that sends a good message.
Right now, Barber has employees from about 50 countries. Jung Allemeyer came to Maine from Vietnam, started working at Barber in 1990, and like many of the employees, enrolled in the company's classes in English and computer training.
I found it very helpful.
Do you plan to stay here? Is this where you'd like to keep working?
I'm still here.
The founder of the company, Gus Barber, set the tone. The son of Armenian immigrants, he knew firsthand the sting of prejudice.
Well, you got to remember, when we started business, immigrants were a bad word. People didn't like immigrants.
He always watched the different nationalities get ridiculed for being Italian or being Armenian, which he was, or being German or whatever it was. They were being ridiculed because they weren't from here. So that always stuck in his mind. He says, when I'm successful, I'm going to change that.
What immigrants find here are jobs and a chance to tap into the American dream.
My son is studying to be a pharmacist right now. My daughter is in Indiana. She finished 4 years of college. And I couldn't have done it, I don't think, without the great opportunities that have been offered here.
My father would be the first to tell you, he said, oftentimes it was only in America could this happen. only in America could a business be created from a one-person shop into a 750-person North American business that deals coast to coast.
We talked to Gus Barber just days before he died in the fall at age 87.
Because
This was my last question.
20s.
I want to know, do you still love chicken?
Oh, I love chicken.
And that's what he founded his empire on. In fact, before he started Barber Foods, Gus Barber worked at a butcher shop on Congress Street in Portland, and that became very successful because he sold cut-up chickens, which, when he started out, well before the 50s and into the 50s, you bought the whole chicken. And he sold cut-up chickens, and that did very well and sort of got him thinking about starting out on his own. And the rest is a story from one employee to 750.
Does his son still like chicken? He said he's been eating it for 30 years.
I almost included some sound from David Barber where I asked him if he still loved chicken, if he ate chicken regularly, and he, without pausing for a second, said, "We had it last night."
Wow. And if you'd like more information on Barber Foods, you know where to go, the 207 section of our websites.
Still to come.